Hello, 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 my lovely little nightmares. Hello. Okay, so I am actually restarting the series. I got in 4 episodes in before I realized that the freaking mod pack was broken. Okay, so the issue was that there was a page near here that had several different pages that were broken. One of which was the egg page, because in older versions of the pack, there was a quest to collect the different elemental eggs, but at some point in one of the updates, they had removed the elemental eggs and replaced them with the colored eggs. And so that in turn means that there's no way to get the different elemental eggs, and it specifically wanted like the fairy, the grass, the fire, and we don't have those as an option here. And so then, in turn, that meant that I had to go through the trouble of trying to figure out if I could just update the server forward. No, because the transition point was to set up for them to have the big spawn area, which it had, but then it didn't have the island, and so you were just stuck on the spawn island. And so, in turn, let's get the daily rewards real quick. And so, in turn, that meant that rather unfortunately, there was nothing that I could do to fix the broken quests, because I don't know how to edit the quest pack. There was no way to remove them. There was no way to somehow get the eggs because they just aren't in the pack. And I don't know how to do like a command to complete the quests. And even then, I wouldn't know which ones are completely impossible for me to do until I get to the point where I cannot figure out how to do them. And so instead, I rolled back the mod pack by one. So instead of 10.3, it's 10.2. Because it is still kind of the same pack. It's the same version. It's the same setup as the one that would have been with the 10.3. It has the same island, pretty much the same quests. It just does not have the broken ones that were from much, much older versions, which I don't know why that's like that. I don't know why it did that. But whatever. We move forward. So we must start off with the quests. So let's begin. Basic information about the pack. Please read. Thank you for playing PixelGO to the Sky. Here are a few commands to help you on your way. So there they are. You start out in a dimension called the Void. You must succeed in getting out of it to access the overworld. To do this, you need to craft the Void Portal. Good luck to you, trainer. So, the whole entire reason why I've done the various different polls was because there's various different versions of this pack that have like slightly different quests, different achievement branches that you can try to do, different mods in them. So like in newer versions, I think there is Tinker's Construct. In this version, there's not. And so it makes it more interesting to be able to do different older versions of the pack or do the most recent newest version. And so I just thought it'd be fun to like try one of the versions because why not? And so now here we are, and we're just gonna keep moving forward. So what we need to do now is we need to make sure that I don't make that mistake again. I need to remember to actually check the packs to make sure they function. But I don't actually want to fully play through them because that takes forever with certain packs. I just want to make sure that at least the first few quests, like the quests I have easy access to, are not broken. And I'm pretty sure all of these should be achievable as long as the crafting recipes aren't broken or anything. And they should be able to be done. Will I be good at doing them? No. Will I end up having to take forever to do them? Probably. But that's okay, because our goal is fairly simple. Okay, we're going to try and do as many of these quests as we can until I get so fed up with the thing that I want to stop. That is when the end point will be. We will be trying our best to complete as many. What the heck? Poke count all. Number of Pokemon owned by all players online, including those starting PC daycare. Wow. Okay. So yeah, this pack is pretty much made for a server setting, but whatever. I don't care. I'm playing by myself. Anyways, so the goal is simple. We're gonna try and get through as much of this as possible, try and get things running, and the end goal is not to completely complete the mod pack because certain versions of this mod pack is broken. The goal is to complete as many of these as I possibly can. And I'd prefer to use versions that are actually able to be completed if I actually am able to put up with it long enough to do so. But that is not always going to be the case. And at the end of the day, my entire channel is more dedicated to me having fun and trying new things rather than actually completing the objectives. It is so that I have to complete the objectives or else I disappoint myself. But if there's a point where I just cannot do it anymore, I will stop. That is just how life is sometimes, you know? And so I think in the 10.3 there was the miners whatever thing. I wonder if that's in here too. Pet name, open it, affinity backpack, jade, map, boost. Or excavation, yeah, okay. So we have or excavation, so we can literally just speed through collecting this. I wonder why do you keep telling me how many accounts there is? I don't. Okay, so that's gonna be super annoying because I think that's probably why one of the updates was done, to remove that. Because that is super annoying whenever you're just in a single player world. But what can you do whenever you have a literal pack that is broken and you can't do anything with it? So we're gonna save these eggs. We could just go ahead and open them and then we'd get the light gray egg. But the light gray egg isn't very good, I don't think. So we're just gonna ignore that. We're gonna move on forward. Okay, so we get the purple armor, we get the purple plot land. I'd like to be able to keep the theme of purple as much as we can, but there's just certain things that we cannot dye purple. I don't think we can dye dirt purple. What the heck? Slurry? Gross. Anyways, so yeah, no, we can't. So dirt is just gonna have to be dirt. Can we make full grass? I mean, technically speaking, we can because there's the mycelium, but I don't know how to get mycelium grass. Can you get mycelium? Hold on. Where would it be? Here it is. Mycelium. Ah, okay, so we can craft it, and it can also be trapped by these two very specific versions of these two very specific Pokemon. Okay. Or we can use, like, crafting recipes. So we could get mycelium. It's not a very good purple, though, is it? Well, whatever. I don't care. Moving on. Okay, so we need to start getting as many of the quests done as possible. So, first things first, we've accidentally completed that. And this thing is stupid. I don't know what it does. I don't know how it works. So we're just gonna put it over here. Yippee! Okay, so it says that there's a Pokestop over there. So we should at some point build over to there to get the Pokestop rewards every day. The daily rewards is daily rewards, obviously, and so I'm gonna have to log on even whenever I'm not recording just to collect those, and I'll put them in a chest so that we can open them whenever I do record. But I'm gonna be recording like 2 videos at a time type of thing until we get through Halloween. Then I'll go back to a more usual schedule of like 1 video every so often rather than trying to record multiple of the same series because I want to make sure I have enough time for the Halloween special. That is important to me. You know, I don't have enough saplings. Oh no, I have more saplings. Doggo, the heck? She just did big ol' Huffy Huff. The heck? Can I see here? Okay, so let's see what we can do. We can make an oak barrel and an oak crucible. So let's make a crafting table first. Oops. Let's do that. Plus, I need them for a very specific thing anyways. I know how many... can I turn off chat? Can I turn off chat? Because I don't think I particularly need chat to be visible. How do you turn off chat? Chat. How do you turn off chat? Chat settings. Hidden. There we go. Now we won't have to worry about that. And now we won't be able to see it at all. That's okay. Okay, so then let's do this. Let's do that. Let's do this. One more. There we go. Okay, and then do that. And then I believe that the crucible would probably be something like... Nope, that's a different thing. There we go. Is that the right crucible? That might be the wrong crucible. That was the wrong crucible. Why is there two different types of crucibles? They look the dang same. Okay, whatever. Maybe we can burn this one. Can we burn this one? We can. Okay, so we'll just burn this one. And we'll just set these two next to each other for the time being. Okay, and then we need saplings desperately. Okay, what else can we make? Dirt. Okay, sure. We can make dirt. How much dirt do we need to make? 6. We started off with like 5, didn't we? So then like, if I just 1, 2, 3, 4. Give me 3. I use my big brain. Okay, and then give me 3. Come on. Yay. Oh wait, I forgot to show off the starter that y'all picked. So here she is, in all of her glory. The 10.4 or whatever also did not have all of the options. It just had the basic Gen 1 to Gen whatever the heck this gen is. Which is fine, I guess. Gen 9? It might be Gen 9. I'm not quite sure. Anyways. Then... Oops. I don't think I was supposed to do that. I think I just used up all my money. My bad. Oh, hey. Okay, random reward. An egg. And an egg incubator. Terrain extender? An item to be held by a Pokemon that extends the duration of the terrain caused by the holder's movability. Okay, whatever. We're just gonna set this here. This will break as soon as the egg finishes, so we're just gonna shove it in there and hope for the best. We need to give our beautiful starter a name. We're gonna name her Shadow. There she is. Shadow. My one and only. My beautiful baby. Bro, why are you looking up? Okay, whatever. Okay, I need more sapling. Sapling. Give. I am set to normal mode, aren't I? Yeah, why am I not? Oh, okay, I am losing hunger. It's just taking a while. Okay. Let's just go downstairs. Let's put these into here to get the doi. Come on. 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 Gimme. Gimme. Give. Aha. Okay, and then if we go back upstairs, we just break this one for a real quick second. Then we completed the mission. Yay. Yay. Woo. Okay. So then just put 2 of those saplings there. Okay, and then collect the reward. And next up, we need to get clay. Use water and dust and barrel to... Oh no, wait. We need a bucket first. Put leaves, apples, and saplings into a crucible. Cool. But to be able to get the bucket, we've got to get the oak sieve and meshes and the wooden crook. So let's go ahead and start that part. Yay. Okay. Crook. And then Mamma Mia, here I go again. How could I have let you go? Mamma Mia, here I go again. How could I have let you go? Mamma Mia, here I go again. Does it have to be a sapling in the... Not sapling, it's 5 in the middle? Yes, it does. Awesome. Okay. And then... Yeah. Like that. Like that. That. What? My inventory is... What? No? Hello? Why is it being stupid? Hello? Okay. What? Okay. It's just being weird. Whatever. Okay, we're having issues and I do not particularly care. Okay, let's go ahead and make the stone one too. So to get the stone one, you have to crouch right click on blocky block. Yay! Okay, and then gonna wait. 100. Okay, and then collect. And then blackstone we can either get from the sieve once we start that stuff, or we can get it from spawn. Because this version does in fact have a spawn, quote unquote, but it's literally just one little area with just a dude that says like, oh, to make the sky island you gotta do this, blah blah blah, and that's it. Yay. Have fun with your path. I'm just over here like, coolio. Epic. Yeah, epic gamer move. There's no epic gamer move. I am just dumb. Anyways, okay, so then let's make some sticks. Goes like that. Goes like this. I know what I'm doing. Hammer time. Ba, ba, ba. Okay. We're gonna need a good source of food, and so I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna get some leaves at some point and set up, I think, if it's still in here. Yeah, we'll make an apple sprout once we get enough apples, and then we can grow apples. And then, how exactly do we get these? I do not know, but they look cool. I can get green apples from this tree. How do you get this tree? I do not know. But it's pretty. Green apple pie. Oh, that's so cute. Okay, wow. Chocolate. Wow. Okay, moving on. Right, so then, what am I doing? Right, yeah, we are working on quests. Okay, so we need to get the silky. So we gotta get the silk. So, oh, okay. How am I gonna... Huh. Yeah, that's a problem. That is very tall. It's a very big tree. I just... that works, I guess. Yeah, we're just gonna break the rest of the tree, I think. Because this is way too tall for my liking. We cannot do anything with that. That is too tall. And there goes all the saplings right off the edge. Cool. We're gonna have to expand the bottom part of the island to make sure that we can catch that stuff. But for the time being, we work with what we've got. And what we've got is absolutely nothing. Okay. Grow to be a normal sized tree, please. Perfect. And now, take that. And then... wooden crook. And now we wait. Patiently. With all the enthusiasm of, taco. I don't know. Oh gosh. He scared me. Okay. Right. So then... oh yeah, right. We need to put stuff into here too. I'm smart. Okay. So then... let's go ahead and make a chest. Because we are going to need to store a bunch of stuff as time goes on. let's just put it right here for the time being, and then we'll go through everything and organize it into other chests later. But for the time being, we just want to get stuff cleared out. So we're gonna put that there. I don't think the bed functions, because no matter what I do, I can't seem to sleep in it. So bed is broken. That's fine. I don't mind that. That's whatever. Moving on. Okay. So we need to... hammer time. There's a lot of stuff in this pack that we're just gonna have to do off camera to save time, because of the fact that it is a lot of grinding until we get like auto anything. Because this pack, I believe, does have auto sieves and hammers. Yeah. So we can eventually get around to making those, but to make those we need steel. To get steel we need friggin' iron and cobalt, which we can get from sieving. And we need to make an induction smelter, which we can make from getting Invar. Invar. Huh? Okay. To get Invar, we need to mix iron, nickel, and a fire charge. Which fire charges are not that hard to get. We just need gunpowder and blaze. How are we supposed to get these? From sieving. So obviously. Everything you can get from the sieve. And so then getting an auto sieve as soon as we can would be super helpful. But for the time being, we don't have one, and so we must just live our best lives with what we have, which is a whole lot of slow grinding. There we go. Right. And now... oh, look at that! It's so pretty and white. I forgot my crook. There we go. We might need two. Okay. Yeah. Perfect. Okay, now we just have to remove the tree. I should probably get an axe at some point. We'll get a free axe from one of the random box whatever things. I'm sure eventually if we get any of those. Okay, so then let's move on to the next. Excuse me, Evie. Let's move on to the next part, which is to make the string mesh. For the string mesh, we get some more string back. For the hammer, we get another hammer. Yay! Okay, so now we could make a compressed hammer, but I don't really want to do that right now. We need to get a bucket. So to get the bucket, we need to get iron. Iron. We need to get it to be... where is it? These. To get these, you get these. To get these, you do it with either flint mesh. Oh yeah, we need to get flint mesh. Right. That's right. We need to get flint mesh. So let's just real quickly try and get flint mesh. So we're just gonna put 4 of these down. Aggressively use my thingy until we can get it. Come on. Come on. Come on. This may take a while. Now you'd think, why don't you just use the sieve? Because you can get flint from the sieve, right? Yes, you can get it from sand. But you see, the issue there is the fact that I am more likely to get it from the gravel than from the sand. Because you see, if I do the sieve with the sand, then that leads to the issue that is the fact that, you see, I don't get my sand back like I do if I just do it by hand with the gravel. And so, well, yes, I could do it with the... help, I think I just froze. Oh, there we go. Well, I could do it with the sand and the sieve. I'm not getting enough return from that. And so... it is just more reasonable to try and get 6 frickin' flint from breaking it by hand than it is to freaking dang use the sieve. Because the sieve is only like, the sieve is only a 30% chance. But the sieve with the string is only a 15% chance. Which, yes, technically is pretty high, but at the same time, again, I don't get my sand back from that. And so it's more likely that I'll just get nothing from it. So it's better to just do it this way, honestly. Because, well, yes, it is slow. it is also the fact that I can pick back up the gravel. So then I'm only losing 6 gravel to make flint instead of like 20 sand to get 1 flint. You see, it makes more sense this way. I'm using my brain. Okay, so then I get 3 flint from that. Yay, I think I can make flint shears. Yeah, I can make flint shears. Yeah, so let's make flint shears. I need sticks. Okay, so then to make flint shears, right here. Yay. Okay, now we can get. My brain died. What was I saying? Right, now we can get freaking iron. And also leaves. Yay. I don't know what to do with this other flint. I guess we'll just save it. We may be able to use it for something in the future. Somewhere. Over the rainbow. Heck. What the? You could turn it. Okay, moving on. So, how's everybody's day going? Doing good? Did I put down the flint one? Yeah, I did, because I'm getting iron. Awesome. Okay. So our goal is simple today. We shall be working on acquiring the resources that we need. I have a burger. So the goal is simple. We're going to continuously try and accomplish as many quests as we can. Are we gonna be able to complete them all? Maybe. If I have the emotional energy to. There's not any. I'm not gonna promise anything though. I'd prefer to be able to finish all the quests, but there's no promises. Oh, my bottle's sweaty. My soda bottle is sweaty and dripping water all over my pants. What the heck? Ew. Oh, it's really slightly cold. I don't like that. Okay, anyways, moving on. Alright, so... condensation at its worst. Okay, so... our goal is simple. We need to get to this. We need to get enough of this to make a bucket. So that would be like 12? There's no guarantee we're gonna get enough of this to make a bucket. So I think what we'll do is after this episode, I will acquire as much cobblestone as I can, then sieve it to get enough iron for the quest stuff. I'm gonna need a lot of iron actually, because a lot of the quests are gonna require iron, and until we can get the auto sieve, there's just nothing we can do about that. And eventually we can get the cobble gen. Oh wait, we can also get this. We got a second chest. We can now expand our chest to be 2 chests wide. That's awesome. Okay, anyways, so... what was I saying? Oh, yeah, right. So, I think what we'll do is I will work on collecting cobblestone off screen until we can get the cobble gen. Because once we get the cobble gen, and once I get an auto hammer, which is gonna take a while, because, hold on, let me double check what we need for the auto hammer. So to make the auto hammer, we actually just need iron. So the auto hammer is easier than the auto sieve, because it needs even more iron. Like, they're not that hard. They're functional. If we want to do the compressed ones, which would technically be better, but we're not going to do so because that's hard to do. It will take a while either way, so we're going to have to do a lot of sieving and breaking up cobblestone and getting the cobble gen as quickly as we can, so we probably actually need 2 buckets, so that would actually be 24. So, yeah. So I think what we'll do is once this episode is over, I will work on collecting all the prep work for the quest. I'm gonna do like a bunch of hammering and collecting of cobblestone. And then, yeah. That is the plan. That is the plan, Stanley Parable. Yes. Okay, so we're just gonna set this chest right here. I will move these around later, but for the time being, I need them to be somewhere where I can easily find them. I'm gonna need a lot of food, so. Yay. Okay, let me just real quickly grab my silky worms. And we're gonna cook them. We're gonna cook them so I have something to eat off screen. And then actually, hold on, I actually need to get the charcoal. I'm not charcoal. I need to get the coal. Which you get like several from this, I think. Let me double check. Yeah, you get 6 from this if you cook it. So then we can get a bunch of coal. And then I can cook a bunch of the silky worms. And then once we get the water bucket, I can expand the island by putting a little lower half slab underneath and then removing it so that I can then move on to expanding and then have the ability to put blocks down and then remove the blocks without it risking falling into the void, and that sucks. Because what if I want to switch out some of the blocks, you know? And so this whole entire purple thing is going to remain right where it is. We are not going to be moving any of it, unfortunately. But, like, anything that we add later to expand it, I need to have, like, a little layer underneath just in case I want to change out blocks. That is very important. And so now, I shall cook this. That's at the bottom. Okay. Wait. Okay. And I will see you guys next episode, which I will record sometime later today or tomorrow, depending on if I feel well or not. Because I had freaking recorded 2 videos I had to scrap, and that's so annoying. And I don't feel well. So I will see you guys when I see you. And I will have a chest for collecting the daily rewards later, whenever I am able to collect more daily rewards. And I will see you guys when I see you. Okay, bye-bye. I'm rambling. Bye-bye.